What's happening, everybody? So let me show you 4 ways of sidechaining in Logic Pro X. So we're going to be sidechaining our bass to our kick, and the first way I'm going to show you is using a plugin by Nicky Romero called Kickstart 2. And I'll just play you the bass just before we sidechain it. And then with the kick then. So as you can hear in that, there are certain frequencies between the kick and the bass that are clashing with each other. So the easiest way to do this is by clicking this sync button, have it on 1/4, which is the first beat of every bar. So there's 4 beats in the bar, and then this is the first beat. And the mix is set at 100. So as you can hear, it's ducking certain frequencies on the first beat of each bar. But for more control, you can click this audio button, click on the sidechain button, choose your kick, and you will be able to see the kick transient come up here. And you can drag this left and right then for more control. So that is the first way. But this plugin is only €15, but if you don't want to buy it, you can use Logic's own compressor. Click this little sidechain button up here, choose your kick, and then what we're going to do is we're going to turn our ratio up the whole way. We're going to leave attack and release as is for now. We're going to turn off the auto gain. We're going to put threshold up the whole way, and we're going to leave makeup at 0. And then we're going to do this by ear then. So as you can hear, there's nothing happening now, and you will see this little marker start to go back. So what this is your decibel meter here, and this is going to show you the amount that it's reducing dBs by. If I had it turned on. So as you hear, that's already making a difference, but now what we want to do is change our attack and release. So the attack time is basically how fast it's going to trigger the sidechain, and the release is how long it's going to hold for. So for a kick, it's going to be relatively short. So what we're going to do is put this on 0 for now, and then we'll use our ear a wee bit. So I like to put it on usually 1.5 2, so in around something very short. So 0.5 sounds good to me then, and then the release is going to be dependent on basically how long you want it to hold for. So let me turn off the auto button here, and so that for me there is good, and then I don't need to touch anything on the gain. Now you can increase it if you like, so if you feel your kick's a wee bit quiet, you can increase it by a couple of dBs because you are reducing the decibels. So that's the second way of doing it. Third way of doing it is using a plugin called Track Spacer. I will show you now. So what Track Spacer does is it will reduce certain frequencies again, but you have more control because you can high cut and low cut as well. And as well as that, if you click this wee button, you can go into mid side, and because our kick and bass are in mono, I can choose mid side, and I can only do the mid frequencies. There's going to be nothing in the sides for left and right, so I can choose mid side, and I can have more control over it then by just doing the mid frequencies. So as you can see here, this is our bass frequency, and then what we're going to do is we're going to tell it that every time the kick hits we want to reduce. So we'll put this down to 0, and then we'll bring this this up. And the sweet spot in this plugin is around 28%, so anywhere between kind of 20 and 30%. Anything over that is way too much. So around 28%. And then this is where this high cut comes in. We can reduce it to around there. So the kick shines through that a little bit more, and it's just reducing that bass. And that for me there is good. And we are in mid mode, so the sides won't be affected because the kick and bass are in mono. We can actually pull that up just a little bit more. Yeah. Now our fourth and final thing is what we're going to do is we are going to sidechain our pad to the vocal. And what I mean by that is our pad, as you can see here in a sec, a frequency range. So this pad in general is quite low, but for vocals our frequency range will roughly be between 1k and kind of 15k. So that's kind of your main frequency range of your vocal. And if you have leads, pads, piano, anything like that, the frequencies are going to clash.
Hugging my brothers and say that I love them, but I don't swing that.
So this is a remix I'm working on at the minute, and by Central C. So as you can see, his vocals.
Hugging my brothers and say that I love them, but I don't swing that way.
Yeah, about
hugging my brothers and say that I love them, but I don't swing that way.
So about 500 to 15k there is quite strong, even up to 10k mostly. So what we're going to do is we're going to reduce the pad's frequency range between that, and how I'm going to do that is by using FabFilter's Pro MB. Now you can do this with most multi-band compressors, but I find the FabFilters is unreal. Yeah, it's so good. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell, am I on the right one here? No, I'm on the wrong one. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to tell FabFilter's Pro MB that every time vocal comes in, I want to reduce a certain frequency range by so many decibels, and we'll do that by ear. So what I am going to do is I'm going to start off with around 2.5 dB between 500 and 10k to 15k, and then we are going to audition it here. So this is our frequency range on the pad. What we're going to do, I'm going to choose external. So as you can see, even though the vocal is not playing, it's still reducing our frequency by a couple of dB. We're going to do free. Click this little free button. So you have to click this little free button. Now you can do it by band there, or you can click this little free button, and this little free button gives you more control. As you can see, when I move it over, it stops. And then we're going to turn it off, and we're going to hear the two of them together.
Hugging my brothers and say that I love them, but I don't swing that way. The man them celebrate Eid, the trap still running on Christmas Day.
So they do have nice harmony between them as is anyway, but what we're going to do is just do a little bit more control on that. We're going to turn it on.
Hugging my brothers and say that I love them, but I don't swing that way. The man them celebrate Eid, the trap still running on Christmas Day. Hugging my
and we're going to
hugging my brothers and say that I love them, but I don't swing that way. The man them celebrate Eid, the trap still running on Christmas Day. Hugging my brothers and say that I love them, but I don't swing that way.
Yeah,
hugging my brothers
and that's it. So very simple to allow frequencies to come through like that, and it's just sidechain compression. Really good tool, really good if you want to mash instrumentals and acapellas together. So if you're DJing anything like that, and you want to mash two together, and there are certain frequencies clashing, you can use this trick to reduce the instrumental to allow vocals to come through rather than rather than other versions of Sidechain. So yeah.